Η σημερινή μας συνέντευξη απευθύνεται στο βιβλιόφιλο κοινό. Αν διαβάζετε έστω και λίγα λογοτεχνικά βιβλία, θα ξέρετε ότι η νέα τάση, το νέο νούμερο 1 τόσο σε Αμερική όσο και σε Ευρώπη, είναι ένα βιβλίο θρίλερ ονόματι «Η σιωπηλή ασθενής». Ένα βιβλίο το οποίο έχει συγγράψει ο Άλεξ Μιχαηλίδης. Ένας κύριος ο οποίος έχει κυπριακές ρίζες, γεννημένος και μεγαλωμένος στην Κύπρο. Άφησε το νησί μας για να πάει να σπουδάσει αγγλική φιλολογία στην Βρετανία και από εκεί και πέρα θα μας εξηγήσει ο ίδιος πώς πήραν τα πράγματα τον δρόμο που πήραν, καθώς τον έχουμε μαζί μας σε απευθεία σύνδεση από την Αμερική, όπου βρίσκεται αυτή την περίοδο και θα μας εξηγήσει ο ίδιος τον λόγο. Άλεξ, καλημέρα.
Γεια σας, τι κάνετε?
Μια χαρά, εμείς σε πετυχαίνουμε πρωί-πρωί και τιμή μας που ξύπνησες τόσο νωρίς, ακριβώς για να μας πεις δύο κουβέντες για αυτό το πραγματικά θαύμα που έχει γίνει, σε πολλά εισαγωγικά βεβαίως το θαύμα, καθώς χρειάστηκαν μόλις κάποιες εβδομάδες για να αναρριχηθεί το βιβλίο στο νούμερο 1. I was just saying, I know you're not that comfortable in Greek because you've been away from Cyprus for over 2 decades now.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. It's been about nearly 25 years since I've lived there, so I don't speak Greek very often. I'm a bit rusty.
But you were born and raised in Cyprus. You went to school in Cyprus, is that right?
Yes, that's right. I was born in Stavropolis, and I went to the English school in Nicosia. Yeah, I left when I was about 18.
And did you know at that time that you were going to write a bestseller?
No, I didn't. I was, I did 3 movies, and I only came to writing a novel quite late because I was frustrated, I think, being a screenwriter, and I wanted to try and write something where I was in creative control from start to finish. If I'm honest with you, the origin of the writing of the book came from Cyprus, really, because I grew up, spending the summers on the beach and reading thrillers and Agatha Christie books in Ayia Napa. On the beach, and I knew when I wanted to write a book that I wanted to write something that I could read on a beach, like those early years that I enjoyed so much.
And you do have a psychiatry background as well, and we can see it all the way in the book.
Yes, I studied psychotherapy at a couple of different places. I never graduated because I was writing movies as well, but I worked in a secure unit for teenagers for a couple of years. And I learned a lot from that experience. Yeah.
That's really interesting because the whole book is set up in a psychiatry clinic. Did you draw from your experiences when working there to write the book?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I didn't know I was going to write the book when I was working there, but later when I wanted to write a thriller, I knew I needed a kind of enclosed, iconic location. And I thought, I can write about a psychiatric unit convincingly. And instead of having a detective, I thought I would have a psychotherapist, as the hero.
And there's deeply rooted the notion of psychology within your characters as well, because you get to really, really know them and know how they feel and where they come from, although you do not expect anything that comes on the next page. And I can say that definitely because I read the whole thing in one sitting.
That's great. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you.
And where do you see this book going now?
Well, Brad Pitt's company, Plan B, has optioned the film rights, and they've hired me to write the screenplay. So right now we are looking for a director, and then hopefully it'll be a movie. But it's going to be a long, slow process, I think.
What do you expect this movie to be like? Because as you said, you already wrote 3 more films. How is this going to be different? What's going to be your input this time?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an irony there, that I was aware of, because there was a bidding war for the film rights when the book came out, and I was getting phone calls at 11 p.m. at night from producers in Hollywood that I'd been trying to get meetings with for 20 years and being unable to meet them. And now they were calling me at 11 p.m. on my mobile in London trying to get me to sign with them. So it's a strange experience because I wrote the book to get away from films, and now I'm going back to films. But I think I'm working with a very different level of people now. The producer has 2 Oscars for Best Picture, and he's an incredibly talented man. And so I'm going to learn a lot, I think, from this experience. And hopefully it'll be a better one than the previous films.
It was decades in the making, but then everything catapulted fast forward.
Yes.
And how did that feel?
Like that, yes. It felt unreal, to be honest with you. I mean, It's my first book, and so I didn't expect it to enter the charts at all, let alone, enter the US chart at #1, which is, I think, the first record for an English writer or a Cypriot writer, for that matter. So I wasn't expecting it. And when they called me from New York to tell me, I just, I thought they were joking. And it was wonderful, yeah.
So, going back to the actual plot, it's about an up-and-coming artist that is full in love with her husband, and then she ends up murdering him, and quite brutally.
Yes.
And you can see the Greek tragedy, the Greek myths, right from the get-go. You refer to Alkisti,
Yes.
and the tragedy of Alkisti right from the beginning. Is that something that you drew again from your personal experiences, academic or otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's funny. Cyprus clearly formed me very much as a person and as a writer, because I was aware of Greek mythology from a very young age, obviously growing up in Cyprus, and then at school, I think I encountered Euripides when I was about 13 years old, and I just loved all of his plays. I still do. I read him all the time. And so, I read about the myth of Alcestis, and I just thought it was it was a very interesting play, because at the end of the tragedy, she's brought back to life, as you know, and but she doesn't speak to her husband at the end. And people don't really know what to make of that silence, whether she's happy to see him or she's angry that he let her die, or, it's very problematic, I think. And that silence kind of haunted me for ages. And then I had the idea of updating that story of that play and setting it in a psychiatric unit about a woman who doesn't speak. And then suddenly everything came to life from there,
And we can see as well that you go to the childhood of the protagonists of the book, almost all of them. Do you really believe that our childhood really defines us?
I think it's helpful to hold your childhood in awareness. And by that, I simply mean just to see it clearly, I think a lot of people don't really see their own childhood very clearly. And that's what the book was about for me. I think it's totally possible to overcome what happened to you as a child, as long as you're aware of it,
We talked about Alkistis. I know you're in the process of writing 2 more books, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, that's right. And there'll possibly be a TV series as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh wow. Is that for US only, or are we going to get to see it in Europe as well?
It's very early days, but I think it'll be US and Europe, yes.
So my question would be, as you use Alkistis for the underlining story of this book, will you be using other Greek myths or stories or tragedies for your next books?
Yes. In an answer, one-word answer, yes, I am. I mean, I feel like I finally found my major interests, as a writer, and there's psychology, murder, and Greek tragedy, Greek mythology, and it's a nice mix, I think. So my next book is about a tragedy professor at Cambridge who is suspected of murdering his students. And I'm being able to use a lot of Greek mythology in that as well. But a lot of that is just who I am. It's not necessarily a conscious decision. It's just I've always been fascinated with Greek mythology. And so it's just coming out now in my writing, which is great. I feel very privileged for that, for having had that experience and that knowledge and mythology growing up in Cyprus, because it's not something I find common in English writers or my contemporaries in England or America. And so I feel really grateful that I have this very rich, imaginative kind of world that I can draw on, and a very old one, because they're all archetypes, these ancient Greek characters. They're within all of us, I think.
Is that an extra ingredient for Greek-speaking people to read the book and understand it even more deeply?
I would hope so, yes. I mean, I'd be curious to hear how the Greek world responds to it, because it's very much coming from that kind of background, yes.
And we'll be waiting for the movie. Thank you so much, Alex, for your time. Thank you for waking up so early to talk to us. And we'll be expecting you hopefully soon in Cyprus for better memories.
Yeah, I really hope to be there before the end of the year, so I'll definitely come and see you and say hello when I'm there. But thank you very much for being here.